Good afternoon, everybody. Hello to all of my authentic brand leaders. I hope you're having a great week. I decided to go live at a different time, a little bit later today, just to kind of see what everyone is up to. So this week we're talking about stepping up as a leader in our group. I really love this theme because I think as emerging leaders or as leaders, we're always growing. And so we're always looking for opportunities to really, kind of like step up and kind of try new things and to kind of grow and hone our skills. So I just wanted to kind of share some tips about that. Specifically, last week in a different Facebook group, we had a really great live Q&A session. And one question that came up that like multiple times actually was this idea of like, how do I lead people who are different than me? And I just wanted to kind of share what the answers we came up with for that question, because I think that's such a great conversation starter. That's bound to happen, right? You're going to have, whether you lead a team, whether you hire an assistant, whether you work with clients, you're definitely going to have to lead people who are different than you. So what are some really great ways for you to approach that? And also, if you're hopping on live, feel free to comment or hit like so I know that you're out there. So I think the heart of this question, really what it came down to, how do I lead people who are different than me, was I think the mindset block that people were having was that you had to be a different type of leader for different types of people. Like maybe if you had one team member who was very shy and introverted, then you're going to have to be different for them. Versus if you had a team member who was very bold and ambitious and loud-spoken, and then you would have to be a different type of leader for them. But I always think that you don't have to change who you are. Really, the heart of leadership is being true to who you are, honoring and expressing your own God-given gifts, and really honing in on what your vision and what your values are, so that you can really use those opportunities to kind of be able to influence other people. So before you think that you have to be someone different because someone's personality is different, no, you don't have to do that. Stay true to yourself, especially show up and continue to be you. You do you, that kind of thing. And of course, with the whole vein of authenticity, like continue to be truly authentic. But there are some things that you can change up so that you can appeal to those different types of personalities, because everyone's different. So one way to really think of it is to kind of change up your communication style. The way that you talk, the way that you give feedback, the way that you communicate your expectations and what needs to be done. So obviously across the board, like be able to communicate expectations and what needs to be done in a very streamlined way. But if you're talking to somebody who is very, sensitive, you don't really want to yell at them, or you kind of want to take a more, kind listening approach. Really ask them like, hey, I noticed that you aren't really hitting your goals. Tell me what's going on. If somebody is that kind of personality, maybe a softer approach of communication would be really effective. So you're still not changing who you are, you're still leading them, but you're doing it in a way that is that really resonates with them. Or the other example is if somebody is really, like bold and assertive, maybe you can show them a little tough love. You can be a little bit more bold and assertive as well if you think that's going to be the most effective for them. So you can change your communication and say something like, I notice you haven't, or in order to hit your sales goal, you're going to need to do X, Y, and Z. So again, like changing up your communication styles, maybe being a little bit more assertive, maybe leaning back and asking more curious questions, whatever it may be. Again, building that relationship with that person that you're leading is going to give you great indicators of how to really speak to them in the way that would ultimately get the message across. And another thought that I had to change up your style according to the different person that you're leading is to kind of change up the way that you express appreciation and gratitude for them. Because if somebody is working for you, or if you're leading somebody, it's so important to acknowledge them. It's so important to let them know that you notice their hard work, and that you notice that they're making progress, and that you're really proud of them, if that's true and if that's the case. So, but again, different people like to receive that appreciation in different ways. So again, building those relationships of understanding what will resonate most with them will be really helpful here. We talked about a great resource. It's called The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. And in this book, he talks about 5 different ways that people like to express love and receive love. Now, I know we're talking about love in a workplace kind of situation, but I think this is still a great resource to know in terms of just working with people, because again, in order to motivate somebody, you're really going to have to show them that you appreciate them. So whether that's through the 5 different love languages, whether that's through spending quality time with them, maybe taking them out to a one-on-one coffee and just kind of checking to see how they are. That's a great idea. Words of affirmation, really telling them, giving them that feedback, publicly announcing the great things that they're doing and the things that they're working on. That would be a great way to kind of motivate them. If they know that you are not only noticing, but you're telling other people about it. Or maybe it's gifts, buying a little token of appreciation, maybe a gift card or a book that you find helpful, or something, candy, some sort of like gift to kind of show them that, hey, you're doing a great thing, and I really appreciate you. And what are some other ones? Physical touch. I'm not sure how that would work out in the workplace. Maybe a firm handshake would be most appropriate, a pat on the back. But again, just to be able to acknowledge their efforts. And I'm drawing a blank on the last one. Quality time, words of affirmation, gifts, touch, and acts of service. Doing something for them. Making them a cup of coffee, helping them with their planning periods, or something like that, whatever that is, taking the time to appreciate them in the way that really matters to them. So again, I think leadership can sometimes be like a really lofty thing. It could be something that you may feel like you have to be in a certain place in your career in order to reach that status. But I truly believe that you can lead wherever you are with who you are, just as long as you're intentional about taking the time to serve the people that are right there in your sphere of influence. So again, if you feel like you want to grow as a leader, these are some great just practical tools for you to do in order to kind of really bless those people that you serve. And again, I think being a leader is really about the relationship building piece. So if you have a very diverse team, which, that's going to be the thing, you will, really taking the time to know how to communicate best with each individual team member, as well as in the group, but also understanding how to best show your appreciation for each team member in the way that would really resonate with them. So that's kind of my answer to how do I lead people who are different than me. I'd love to hear your thoughts and maybe some things that you've tried or things that you would like to try. And feel free to engage in the group and let me know all your thoughts. That's all I kind of have for you today. So I hope you have a great evening. Bye.